I'm using two computers, so this thing might take a while. Alright, so this is when I just started out with photography. So these are some photos that I took with my phone. This is when I started to realize that I actually liked photography. And some of these photos I even use compositions that I didn't know about as yet. Like well, you'll learn about them. Some persons heard about them from last week. Rules of third, leading lines, framing, stuff like that. Fill the frame. Right here we're using I use two different type of composition. Well, there's more, but the main ones are fill the frame and perspective. Alright. These are also some phone ones, some that I took with a phone again. And I did some editing with an app on my phone, which is called, I think at the time it was Aviary. No, it's Snapseed and Aviary. I use a combination of both. These now I was trying to do something in perspective. Well, it won't be perfect, but as you go along, you're kind of getting better and better at what you do. I used to do a lot of plant photography. I tried to do a lot of macro. Macro is when you go in close. As you can see with these, I used to just walk around with my camera and try to capture stuff. Remember, if you were watching the video last week, you would have heard when I said always have a camera, and the best camera to have is the camera that you have on you, on your person, the camera that you have with you, because there's always an opportunity to catch a photo. And sometimes you might not have a professional camera, but you have your phone, and it is what you can use to capture that right moment, because those moments they only come like once in a while, and sometimes you're at the perfect time where you don't have a camera to capture it. But so that's one of the reasons to walk around with your camera. Here are some more again. Give me a second. These are some that I took. The two top ones were in an open field near where I live. I was just walking and I'm like, wow, this place looks nice. And the thing is, just walking, sometimes you might not even see some of the beauties. You have to go in close in order to see them. So that's what I did. That's what with photography, you have to try and see what others can see. Try and show them what they're not normally looking for. And that one in the bottom left corner now is at an apartment. At an apartment, I was just walking by and I saw the light and I said, this looks interesting. I should capture it, I just love walking around and taking plants. I was going through a plant phase. Wait a minute, my computer is frozen. Oh, it's back. Alright, these are some interesting ones. I remember, majority of these photos are with my phone. So you don't have to be a professional photographer to get some good shots. So this one is the statue of Mary. I was just walking over by St. Joseph Teachers College and I saw it and I'm like, wow, this is very nice. So I took the picture and then I edited it with Snapseed on my phone to give it a more dark feel. As you can see with a lot of shadows in there. I really like this one, and the next one now is actually a photo. That one is what we call light painting. I had my phone and my nephew, he had a little toy Spider-Man with a light in the chest. I turned off the light and I turned down my shutter speed way down, and then I brought down my ISO on the phone. I did it in pro mode. Most of the phones have a pro version on it. So yeah, I did that, and then I turn off the light and I hold up the camera and just move it up and down. And it take like, normally when you take a picture, it shuts like this. Just make one click. When I did this, it took a while to shut, so it was recording the light. So it take about, I put it about 30 seconds or 20. So when it finally closes, it captured all the movement of the light. And that's how I got this, the light painting. I need to do some more of those now. I played around with a lot of concepts. So these now are, like I said, I love to do plants. Well, I'm hardly doing them now, but I was in a plant phase, a nature phase, where I did a lot of nature photography. But also I did a lot of concepts. So the top one is I don't even know the name of this plant, but it's pretty. Yeah, as you can see with the blossoms and all, it's more of a macro type photography, getting in close. And then the other one, which is below, is me. I was at church practicing and I saw this chain. I wrapped it around my hand. Trying to give it a dramatic effect. Right, someone's mic is unmuted. Unmute your mic. You're not saying anything. Alright, here are some lovely plants again. That pretty flowers one, it's just like the one a while ago, but this one is more of a red and orange mix. And then there's an aloe vera in the center. And then there's also an aloe vera at the bottom. And I edited all of them because I realized, straight out of the cameras, the photos look nice, but I tend to do a lot of edits, to enhance them in certain ways, to give them a certain feel, a certain vibe. And like I said, remember, these are all phone photos. I used to just walk around with my phone, and at the time it was I started with a Huawei Honor 6X, I believe, yeah. And then it was a LG V20, yeah. So it wasn't any really spectacular phone. And these now, alright, this was when I transitioned to a camera. I started using the camera. So yeah, I went to Trelawney and I just started walking around. I'm kind of adventurous like that. So I just got up, walk around, and went to the seaside and took some photos. And that banana was in the market. Okay, alright. Give me a second, I have to check my Zoom to see if it's working. Everyone on Zoom hearing me? Anybody, could you indicate to let me know if you're hearing me? Alright, so these are some more photos that I took. These were at the waterfront. I just went on a long walk. Oh, it's out. Yeah, I just went on a long walk and I saw a bird flying and I took the bird. I saw a man out on the thing there doing some fishing. I took him. Interesting enough, I had a lot of different compositions in this and I didn't even know. Rules of third, perspective. a lot of stuff because I was showing some photographers after and they were like, wow, these are nice. I like how you use the rules and all of that. And I'm like, what? At the time, I didn't even know any of those. I was just shooting. Alright, these were some more camera ones again. Alright, so on the left, it's me dressed as well, I was doing some construction work, but I wanted to give it like a Middle Eastern vibe, so I kind of make it black and white and cropped it a bit. It was actually a big photo, but I cropped out most of the stuff and zoom in on the face. And on the next side now is a plant. I don't even know the name of the plant, but I like it and it looks strong. I like the strong pink and the dark in the background. So I just took it. And I hope you notice, you see, as I move along, the photos started looking more and more professional. It's not there as yet, but you can see the changes. So I started out with just the phone and I stick to it. I took pictures of almost everything. Trust me, there's a lot of photos that I took, but these now are just some that I'm showing to kind of show how I came from basically not knowing to getting good. Alright, and these now are some photos from Blue Mountain. Alright, this now, I was helping someone with some products. They were selling these baskets and they wanted to put them on their social media, so they asked me to take the photos. And could you believe these were taken in my living room, right on the entertainment center? I got some papers and put them together, some hard paper to make a soft box. So I put them up, curve them, got my light and put it there, and took these, so they kind of look like studio, like they were taken in a studio. So there's a lot of things that you can do with your phone. Well, these were with my camera, but you can use your phone as well. I could have used my phone, but you know I had the camera, so I used it. Yeah, crisp and neat and pretty. Alright, these now. The top one it was taken by my phone. I was at Port Royal and I was just there walking and I saw the grass and I'm saying, wow, this grass look neat. And I saw the brick wall and I said, wow, this would be a lovely scene for a photo, and I just took it. And the cat photo now, I was at my home. I looked through the window and I saw the cat and I'm like, whoa, look at this cat. Just push the camera through the window. I had my zoom lens on it. Zoom in and shot the cat. It's like the cat saw me and the cat was like, alright, cool, take my picture. I really like this photo of the cat. I don't even know how to explain it, but it had some effect. Here's another photo of a cat, a butterfly, and my nephew watching movie on a laptop. And these now are some by the seaside in Black River. I went to visit my grandfather and I was driving by the sea and I was like, whoa, this sunset is awesome. And guess what? I had my camera on me. So yeah, I was able to capture these sunsets, and I took a whole lot of photos and all of them look wonderful. Look at these sunsets. Yeah, I did some editing, but barely did any because the sun was perfect. The lighting was perfect. These now, the bamboo at the top, I was going to Portland. Yes, I saw somewhere, stopped off, and I was walking around taking some photos, and I saw the bamboo. I said, yeah, let's try and do a macro. And I went in close, took the bamboo and that plant as well. So yeah, sometimes I just get up and walk through some bushes. And that old time camera there, yes, it's a camera. I took it in the UE Museum. One day I went over to UE and I was just walking around campus taking photos. And I took this one. Two little boys. I think this is a nice photo, you know, with both of them bright and vibrant. And here's some more photos I took. Like I said, I continued shooting, and the more I shot is the more I got better. You can see the difference in the photos coming from the start. Alright, and that's that. Alright, moving on now we're going to go into some concepts for taking great pictures. So yeah, we can't just go around taking photos. We have to learn some of the concepts in order to get those good photos. You have to start from somewhere, right? Well, if you continue further down from now, you'll be doing some serious editing and learning frequency separation, color blocking, stuff like those. Alright, so understanding your digital camera models. So there are several models or different models of digital cameras. So we have subcompact, compact, super zoom, advanced, SLR. Alright, so we have the front of the camera, we have focus light, which is that little black thing there, microphone, shutter release, optical viewer, control buttons, electronic flash, shooting mode dial, battery compartment, docking port, tripod socket, zoom lens, and lens cover. That's your normal compact camera. I have the back with all of these little things. Well, I doubt you see one of these cameras now, because most persons are using phones, or if they're not using a phone, they're probably using a DSLR camera, more of a professional camera. Alright, so features. Most cameras have sufficient megapixels for everyday picture taking. For editing and professional printing, you need 8 to 10 megapixels. Optical zoom versus digital zoom. Always go with at least 3 times optical. External memory card, use USB connectivity, good flash, easy to understand button features, batteries that can be recharged, lens that can be protected, and the camera must also be sturdy. Yeah, so most cameras, they say they have megapixels. So megapixel is the amount of dot per square inch. You know, when you zoom in on a photo, you get those little dots. Those are the megapixels. So the more, the better. Nowadays cameras, they don't really have that small amount. You know, big, like a couple of years ago, you had cameras with like 2 megapixels and stuff. Phones with 2 megapixels and so on. When you look at them, they look kind of blurry and grainy. Yeah, these cameras are far more better, because even the phones, the standard phones nowadays have up to 12 megapixels. So they come with memory cards and flashes and USB connections to copy your files to the computer. Okay, things to know. Shutter button. Half down is focus, and light adapter, always pre-focus. So usually when using a camera, you have a shutter Oh, give me a second. Let me show you. Yes. Usually, usually a camera would have a shutter button, which is this button right here. You hold it, you barely hold it down. It focuses your camera. So if if the image that you're taking was blurry, you hold this down and you realize it brings it into focus. You see it clearer, and also it gives off a little light. So it kind of searches and finds how far the subject is and clears it up for you. Alright, how to turn your flash on. Alright, some things you need to know as well is how to turn your flash on, auto, off, or red eye. Take lens cover off. Those are pretty simple. You don't even have to really think that much about it. If you use red eye option, tell your subject flash is delayed. Well, I don't really have that problem still. Alright, turn your macro function on and off for extreme close-up, where the focus points are for your camera. Alright, we don't need to know those for now. Alright, now we'll be looking at some tips for taking photos. Fill the frame. So filling the frame is trying to get your subject into the frame as much as possible. So your subject is in full view. You fill up most stuff. So when you're looking through your viewfinder, you're seeing mostly the subject and not the background. Rules of third. So they're normally 3 bars on in your frame. There are some lines, imaginary lines. Some cameras come with the grid lines. They divide it up into 3, going down or going across. And these are the rules of thirds that you use as composition for your photo. All right, so here we have one of them. Here's another, and as you see, there are 3 spaces in the frame, and these are your thirds. And like I said, going down, there's also 3 spaces going down, and these are your rules of thirds. You can use. It's better to use one of them to each side, or one of them from the bottom or the top, or even using the intersections of these lines. They make perfect photos. As you can see, this man is on one of the thirds. His feet is right in one of the intersections. If you look back, you'll see it's basically in one of the intersections. Some more photos exhibiting the rules of thirds. Majority of the children in the right section are standing on one of the thirds. They are more into view. Alright, now we're at macro. As you have seen with the photos that I took, a lot of them were macro. That's when I went close, did the close-up shots. I went close to get a better view of the subject. Macro is usually used for like small animals or small objects or plants. Okay, now we're using framing. So even though the picture itself is within a frame, the person or the photographer is using objects to frame the subject. As in with the left photo, the person is using the trees and the leaves to frame the mountain. So the mountain is in the center and the trees are like act as the frame. So they draw your attention to the mountain in the middle. With the one on the right bottom corner, they're using these metal objects to kind of frame the photos. So these metal objects kind of force you to look into the middle of the photos. And also with the school bus, the door acts as a frame. It draws your attention to the children coming through it. Alright, getting down on their level. This has to do with perspective. This allows for some quite interesting photo concepts, because usually persons taking photos will not be getting a photo from that angle or view, because most of the time we're standing and taking photos. Okay, we seem to be running out of time here on Zoom. We may have to conclude early. Alright, so here is some more getting down on their level photos. Interesting angles. As you can see, he's taking it. The photographer is taking this one on the building from below, looking up. This one is close to the boat. That one, next one now, the person is walking away. Well, that's not that exciting, but it makes for a good one. And also, I think there's a rule of third somewhere in there, or leading line from the roof. Yeah. Alright, series photos. So in this one, you see the series like telling a story. You see where the rocket is lit. You see where it's moving up, and you see where it's gone. So yeah, photos are good for telling stories, and usually use a series to do that. That's why, for instance, at a wedding, they'll start from when the person was at home, when they get to the church, during the ceremony, and then after church. So you look through the album, you basically feel as if you were there, because you have went through the series of photos. Peoples and portrait. When photographing people, take shots that are either whole body, including feet and head, waist up, or head shots. So these are people portraits. I do a lot of people portraits now, as well, opposed to when I just started out. I was doing a lot of random stuff. Action shots. Focus on subject, hold on to that person, press shutter as you move, and keep moving until picture is taken. I was talking about that last week. So it shows where there is movement. You see where the water is moving, where the person is engaged in whatever activity he's doing. A lot of sports photographers use this technique or method. They use the action, they use fast shutter speed to capture the movements fast, so you don't see any much blur movements. And then we have grouping pictures, which is taking a lot of people or a group of people. Resolution. Use highest resolution for pictures that will be printed or cropped. Use 6x40 or 8x40 for web pages and PowerPoint. So yes, you don't want to you would want to adjust your camera or phone settings to the highest as possible, so that when you take your photos, it won't be pixelated and you'll have good high quality photos. Okay, so alright, this one is talking about pixelization. As you can see in these photos, both are pixelated. The one in the right hand corner is far pixelated, you can barely see anything on it. That's why you'd like to have good quality for resolutions. So I try to adjust your camera as high as possible. Upload your pictures to a computer and erase your storage device. Always name your folder including data and activity. You can use a variety of programs and online services to display and print your photos, including PowerPoint or an editor like Pixelart. Alright, and most of these photos are in JPEG, JPG or JPEG, easiest format to save. TIFF, higher quality but uses more space. Yeah, because I save some files in TIFF format and wow, those are big. I mean, like some of them might add up to like the file size of a movie. So sometimes when I'm editing those files, they get real big. But the JPEG and JPG, those are the more popular ones. Most likely your photos will be in that format. Alright, I think I'll be concluding with these for today because I'm kind of running out of time. What I do though is encourage you to go and take some photos. Take some photos so that next week we can share them with each other. Pardon me about that. Yeah, we can share our photos. And yeah, we'll be giving out prizes for persons with the best photos. So go out there with your phone. Just go around and take some random photos and even try and download some of the editing apps from the Play Store. One of my favorite is the Snapseed, and you also have Pixelization. That's another nice one. You can also animate them with that. And you have Aviary, and there's a lot of them. You can just download any one of them and edit your photos, and then you may be able to win a prize. I will let you know what that prize is next week, and trust me, it's going to be worth your while. So go ahead, and you can also watch this video again because it's been recorded and I'll be uploading it shortly. And on YouTube it's streaming and it will be recorded and uploaded as well. So thanks for watching, and Mikhail Campbell, your teacher for today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And go out there and take some wonderful pictures. Remember, you don't have to be a professional. Everybody has to start from somewhere. As you can see with my photos, I wasn't taking that good of photos, but you saw where I progressed and I became better at what I was doing because I practice some more. Every day I get up, I practice. And you should do the same. All right, so see you next week.